Hello guys, in today's video I am going to teach you about countable and uncountable nouns. We can also call these count nouns and non-count nouns. So let's begin by first talking about what is a noun. So a noun is a word that is a person. It can be a person, so Kautar, that's a noun. Teacher, that's a noun. It can be a place. Morocco is a noun. School is a noun. It can be an animal. Dog is a noun. The word cat is a noun. It can be also a thing. This video, the word video, is a noun. It can be also a feeling. Happiness is a noun. So, a noun is a person, a place, a thing, an object, an animal. There are many things that are nouns. What a noun is not, it's not an action, like a verb. It's not a description, like an adjective. And it's not a preposition like the word on or off, okay? A noun is, like I've said before, one of these things. So in English, well, actually, first let's do something. Let's underline the noun just to make sure we have understand this concept. So my first sentence is, Morocco is a beautiful country. So let's underline the nouns here. Well, Morocco is a place. So we know Morocco is what? Is a noun. Is a verb. Beautiful. Beautiful, this is a description. It's an adjective. Country is a place. This is also a noun. The second sentence, my friend is smart. Friend is a person. So this is a noun. Smart is a description. It's an adjective. So, in English, we have two types of nouns. We have countable nouns and we have uncountable nouns. It's very important to know if a noun is countable or uncountable, because this is going to tell us if we use words like a in front of the word, and it will also tell us which words we cannot use with this word, and whether or not we need to add an s to the end of the noun if there is more than one plural form. Okay? So in this video, we are going to talk about countable nouns with many examples and uncountable nouns. So let's look at countable nouns first. Okay, so we're going to start with the countable nouns first. So the first thing you need to know about a countable noun is when we have a noun in this category, we need to put an a or an in front of it. So for example, I have a cat, I have a laptop. So notice I am putting a in front of all these. Okay? If the noun starts with a vowel letter, so for example, a is a vowel, e, I, o, u, these are all vowels. And if the noun starts with a vowel letter, then we use an. Like for example, I have an apple, I have an egg, I have an uncle. Okay, so we use this if the first letter of the word is a vowel, right? Remember, we use a before word that starts with a consonant like B, C, D, F, G, H, K, L, M. And we use an before word that starts with a vowel like A, E, I, O, U. Okay? Clear? The second thing you need to know is that with countable nouns is that we can count them. Okay? A countable noun is something you can count. Usually it is something or an animal, or a place. It is something you can count. So for example, 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples. I have a book. This is 1 book. I have 2 books. I have 3 books. So this is you can count book. You can count books. And it's a countable noun. I have 2 chairs. I have 5 dresses. These are all countable noun. When we have more than one countable noun, so for example, here singular form 1 apple, plural we have 3 apples. we added s. We need to add an s at the end of the word. This shows us that there is more than one. And also notice that we don't need this a or an in front of the noun anymore. So we cannot say an apples, a books, because the s means there is more than one. So this would not match, okay? So we need an s or an es if we have more than one. So this is more than one of this type of objects or a noun. Here is another example. I have one sister. I have 3 sisters. So notice here you can count the number of sisters I have. So I have added an s at the end of sister. Now, let's look at what is an uncountable noun and how is it different. Okay? So we have talked about countable noun. Now we're going to talk about uncountable nouns. An uncountable noun is noun where you do not use a or an in front of it. So for example, an uncountable noun is happiness. I do not say happiness. Okay? So that's a no. So we do not use a or an. We do not add it s or es at the end of the word. Okay? And the reason we don't add it s or es is because of the idea of uncountable is you can't count it. Now there are many exceptions to this, but in general, an uncountable noun is something you can't really count. So I want you to think, for example, of happiness. Can you count happiness? Can you say 1 happiness, 2 happiness? My friend has 5 happiness? You can't really count it. It's the same with words like sadness or with stress, pride, respect, anger. These are things that are abstract and there are things you can't really count, okay? So because of that, we do not add s or es to the end of uncountable words. Another things you will find with uncountable words, and this is where it's kind of gets a bit tricky, is a lot of uncountable nouns are actually categories. For example, furniture is an uncountable noun. In English, you do not count furniture, so you would not add an s at the end of the word furniture. It is always the same. I have furniture at my house. I do not say I have a furniture. No. In English, you can't do that. You say, I have furniture. There is no a or an. It's the same with the word clothes. Clothes never change. It's always stay the same. And a lot of students get really frustrated with this because of in their language, you can count these things. So I understand. Language are very different. But in English, you cannot count these things in the same way. They are considered categories. So in English, I cannot say I have 5 money and I also do not add an s to money. It's always stayed the same, sorry. I can say I have a lot of money or I have no money, but I can't actually put a number in front of money. A lot of time, different type of food and drink are also uncountable. So for example, milk, we do not count milk. In English, we can't say I have 1 milk, I have 6 milk, I have 10 milk. What we can do is we can add a container to this word, or we can add an amount, so that's okay. So what we can say is I have a glass of milk or I have 5 glasses of milk. So milk itself never changes, but the quantity or the amount can. It's the same, for example, with juice, water, oil. It doesn't change because it's an uncountable noun. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of practice, but before we begin, I want again to say there are many exceptions to what I'm saying, meaning usually this is accurate, but every so often there are somewhere that will not follow this rule. Okay, let's look at some of these nouns, and I want you to tell me, are they countable or uncountable? Take your time and do the exercise. As I said before in the first video, you stop the video and you do the exercise, then you continue, then you play the video again to see the answer. So the first one, we have the first one: English, student, butter, water, phone, shoe, sadness, coffee. Are these nouns countable or uncountable? So let's start. Okay. The first one is English. English is a thing. It's a language. It is a noun. Can we count English? Would we say I have a English? I have an English. Can I say Englishes? No. So English is uncountable. Okay, it never changed. It's always stayed the same. You can say I like English. There is no A or AN in front of English. What about student? Can you count student? Can you count it? Teachers do this all the time. They count the number of students in their classes. There are 30 students in my class. So student is countable. What about this word butter? Okay, like a bottle of water. Can you count butter? Can you count bottle? Yes, you can. So we consider bottle countable. I have 1 bottle, I have 8 bottle, I have 10 bottle. So it's countable. Water. Can we count water? Water is considered. Can you count it? It's considered. No, it's considered uncountable. You might be saying, but I can count water. We cannot count water. We count water in bottle or in letters. We do not add an S. Phone. Can we count phones? Yes. So phones are countable. If we have 2 phones, we added S. Okay? What about show? We can actually say shows. Shows are countable. I have shows. 1 show, 2 shows, 3 shows. So we can count shoes. We often talk about a barefoot shoes, but we can also count shoes individually. Okay? What about sadness? Can you count sadness? Can you say, oh, this girl is sad. Look, she has 10 sadnesses. We cannot count sadness. It's a feeling. It's something we can't really count. This is uncountable. So we don't added a. I can say I have sadness. There is no A in front of it. So it's uncountable. Last one that we are going to look at is coffee. Remember, food and drinks are often uncountable. We can talk about a cup of coffee, but we're counting cup. Coffee itself is considered uncountable. So we don't say coffees. Okay, this is all. Okay, guys, this is all for today. I hope everything is clear. Have a nice day. Have a nice day, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share. Goodbye.